Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes as emailed? Anyone? Hearing none, they stand approved as emailed. Are there any changes or additions to the revised agenda as emailed? Okay, they stand approved. Jean, do we have a quorum?
I think we may not at this point.
I don't think so.
Well, we need to have people from each of our major entities, which is town, college, and MRA. Do we have MRA present? Okay, all right, then I think we have 5 people who can vote, and we have each entity represented, so I believe we have a quorum.
All right, we have a quorum. Treasurer's report, Jean. It's not that bad.
All right, many things have happened with regard to our treasury. And you have some intimations of what those things are that came out by email. A tiny bit of history. It's a page report, and I will try to just get through it quickly for you. For a number of months in 2022, the town of Montreat did not have a financial officer, and financial reports for Montreat Landcare were unavailable. Landcare funds have been divided into 2 distinct kinds of account. One, which must be spent or the balance returned to the town each fiscal year in June 30 of the year. And we have called that the operating fund. And another, the Nancy Hope Memorial Fund, which continues to accrue across fiscal years. Having 2 different kinds of funds creates a dilemma for the town, besides being difficult to track and allocate. In addition, Montreat Landcare needs to prepare for receiving, acknowledging, and tracking donations toward Flat Creek Crossing, adding to the time and attention required from town staff. So, while the previous Landcare chair pursued up-to-date financial reports as well as how Landcare might be able to assist in account tracking, the idea of a separate bank account for Landcare arose. This seemed like a way to gain timely access to funds and in theory could allow Landcare to create as many sub-accounts as needed. However, as we looked into it, a separate bank account turns out to be impractical for multiple reasons. It implies that we become a separate entity in the way that we are really not prepared to do. So when Rachel Eddings, the new financial officer for the town of Montreat, arrived, she was able to catch up on the financial reports, and conversations about how to clarify and simplify the accounting situation continued. Harrington Cox and Jean Norris picked up where the previous chair left off, scheduling meetings, including Patty Pyle, Landcare team leader for Flat Creek Crossing, who was unable to attend, but we stayed in close communication, with Rachel Eddings, Angela Murphy, the town clerk, and Ben Blackburn, the interim town manager, on January 27th and February 9th. In the last meeting, town staff suggested a possible solution tying together several threads. 3 proposals below retain banking under the town of Montreat, but create new detailed bookkeeping and secretarial responsibilities for Landcare officers. So I'm going to say this very briefly since you have it in writing already. What has been proposed is that from the 1st of July, all of the funds that are associated with Landcare, including the town's annual donation, whatever it may turn out to be in the future, will be put into a single Landcare fund in the town's books. And then it comes to Landcare to keep track of what kinds of money are in that account. Was it for Flat Creek Crossing? Was it a donation that preceded Flat Creek Crossing? Was it money fundraised, etc.? So it's a bookkeeping role for secretary treasurer, presumably, of the committee. Let's see. We are recommended to have our own post office box to receive donations, which makes very clear when they come in and exactly who they come to. Bundle those donations on appropriate paperwork we'll make up to the town so that they can be entered into the town's bank account in an orderly way. And Landcare can develop deposit and reimbursement request forms and a simple procedure to clarify and document other money flowing in and out. So that takes a lot of responsibility off of the town staff. Oh, let's see, and it means the bookkeeping comes to us, and it means we need to figure out who has to sign what. It's not difficult to come up with these procedures. I think we'll be able to manage it. The authority to proceed with such a plan rests with the town of Montreat. And this report is intended to keep people apprised and to hear questions, concerns, whatever. We have every reason to believe that we will be covered under the town's liability insurance. We may or may not need any other little things along that. And there are a few areas in the Montreat bylaw, the Landcare bylaws, that are going to need clarification, defining a new role and so forth. But I think we are in a good place with this, and that's my report. And I think we're open to questions and discussion.
Yes, we are. I would like to hear a motion before we get into that you are willing to allow your officers to move ahead with these ideas. All right, now is there any discussion about this? You all got my email, I think. Didn't you?
It sounds like
You're on. Speak closely. I'm sorry. That's certainly a thought we have come to, but I would like to get this. I would like to get y'all's okay before we leap into this. All right. I don't need to restate this thing. You know, we haven't had a motion. Thanks. Okay. All in favor? Anybody else?
I think we do. I think we actually just barely do.
We squeaked.
Yeah. And
so. I think we're the only voting members, right?
and
But
Martha in the back.
Martha's in the back. Well, you're attending in his absence, so
So I think
your
you
vote
have his-
carry. His vote carries
You
too.
have his vote.
All right, motion's carried, and we will move on and keep you all in the loop. The public has three. Is anybody who would like to speak for 3 minutes from our visitors or our public? Okay. Montreat College, Dottie.
I guess I can report from here and then I'll have my students come up. So I've got two reports, and the first one is from my students. They are going to share a little bit about a cleanup project that they are preparing for April 21st. So this is Jesse Statler and Ethan Swayze, and I think that Jesse is going to speak. So hop on up to the microphone, Jesse.
Welcome, Jesse. Thank you for all you're doing.
Hello, is this okay? Hi, I'm Jesse Statler. This is my partner Ethan Swayze, and we're going to do a Montreat cleanup initiative specifically around Flat Creek and Lake Susan, but also extending into surrounding areas where there may be a lot of trash accumulation. This is going to take place on the 21st of April, the day before the native plant sale, kind of like in congruency with the Earth Day, which is on the 22nd. So our goal is to clean up our community with Montreat College students and the Montreat community members. Oh, okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. And create a connection between the college students and the Montreat community, kind of bring them together as this initiative to like clean up our area together. So we're hoping for a representative from the Landcare committee to oversee one area. We'll probably have like a couple different groups in a couple different places. So if we could have one like person like in charge of like a sub area, that would be really helpful. And then we'd also would like you guys' help in promoting the event to the Montreat community at large, like sending emails, putting up flyers and other promotional things like that. And then we'll take care of promoting it to the Montreat College. It would also be really great if, as you're doing that, you can get an approximate head count of the people who are coming. It doesn't really matter like an exact head count. We just need like, there's like about 30 people coming, so that we can figure out like how many groups we need and other things like that. So we also are looking to use the area underneath the dam for as like a base of operations so that we can go from there to other places. So I believe we need to rent that out somehow. So
Conference center, is that correct? The picnic area below the dam.
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't really know. Is that under you guys' jurisdiction or not?
Yeah, is that a rent? That would be under the conference center.
Okay.
Do they have to rent it?
Yeah, we just want to pick that.
Yeah, that's just for setup, right?
Okay.
More or less.
Gathering place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. That's wonderful. So also, we were wondering if you guys would be willing to sponsor us for our supplies. It wouldn't be much, just like gloves and like work gloves and trash bags and stuff. The time is gonna be from 10 to 12 noon, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna meet below the dam. And then we'd also be open to hearing any of your ideas on other like initiatives that we could do during this event. Because I feel like if we have a decent amount of people, we can get all the trash picked up fairly quickly. So I feel like we could maybe do like one or two other like things. And I forgot to mention, but this is a volunteer thing opportunity. So if you guys have any thoughts on like extra initiatives we could do, that'd be great.
I do. How broad is this going to be?
What do you mean?
Because I have a creek you can clean out.
You have a what?
I have a creek you can clean out.
You mean like behind your house or what?
No, it's the one that comes down Virginia, behind Virginia, and comes into the Black Creek, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great. I was actually thinking of not just cleaning up the Flat Creek, but also the other tributaries of Black Creek.
It's a tributary.
What?
It's a
Okay.
tributary. I don't know that 2 hours is gonna be enough.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I'm looking at this, you can't get down there because all the junk in the creek. It would take you a day to do just that one strip.
Um,
Now, are you talking about chainsaws and all that kind of stuff?
no, just picking up
Litter.
trash.
Oh, well. Oh. Trees,
Sorry.
but not trees.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I think
Yeah.
I should clarify. So does that make more sense now?
I'm wondering if Patty Pyle needs, if she would be interested or needs some specific people to work down here at the new trail. Do we know? Does anybody know if it's been cleaned out as far as, extra, I mean, not just litter, but maybe nails and boards and other things?
Grace.
Hello, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, we started over a year ago with that, with the trail and spent we've probably encountered about 40 to 50 hours with 4 to 5 people each time on Saturdays. We have stopped and we'll be starting soon, but that area between the creek has all been done. We even have the town taking the trash from and we just, cut down trees as well. So
We
that's
don't
being
need-
cleared.
We don't need any help in that area.
Oh, well, we always need help and we will be putting out, and Patty is unavailable, today. She has COVID. But she would, it's actually under George Sawyer with our steering committee when we have scheduled times, but in the past, it has been a wonderful opportunity to work with Monterey College, but I think if you're focused with the area up at the Lake Susan, I think we can handle, I think we'll call upon when we have our work days because we have specific areas that we're watching and taking care of native plants along, Flat Creek Crossing.
I'm sorry. Ray. Go.
As I listen to the conversation, I think there may be a need for some clarification about exactly what we're talking about. As you said, under the dam, and you also said grassy area, and it's not grassy under the dam. If you're talking about the field, the rather large flat field, then that's called Moore Field. And to be aware of, if the day before, what reason things are reserved on that day is to allow for the plant sales setup, which part of that involves rather detailed putting out markers and things for the vendors and things that are going to be presenting at the following day. So I think there needs to be some fairly close coordination. I'm not saying I don't think it's a barrier to what you want to do, but if you're talking about more field, then you, in particular, then you need to have some fairly close coordination between the native plant sale people and what you're planning to do.
So to answer that, we really only need space for one, what do you call it? The like tarp thing above your head? 10 tarp? Like one of those things that you like pop up tents, and then maybe a few chairs outside of it. So I don't think it should take up too much space. And we're not going to be actually staying there. So it's just going to be like a meeting place. Maybe we have like a couple like snacks and like water bottles there. And that's just kind of going to be our base of operations. And we're just going to initially meet, the whole group is going to meet up there. And then I'm going to give a little synopsis of what we're doing. And then I'm going to split everyone up and send them out to where they're going to go pick up trash to each of the different locations I have picked out. Does that clarify everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dottie, let me clarify, help. I'm thinking what he's talking about is on the assembly inside of Moore Center. where
No,
there's
I think
tables.
he meant the field.
The
I,
what?
I said the tables, but I think he meant the field, right?
Like,
Okay, field.
like
The
where
field.
they play spike.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
field.
that,
Yeah, I said, I thought he meant when he said under the dam, the picnic tables, but you
Yeah.
mean the dam.
That's a better spot, really.
Yes.
Because to Brad's point, the other field is gonna be busy. We don't want you over there.
oh,
Or
so
I- Is that a fair statement, Brad?
Yeah, that space is taken.
so you're saying that should
It's
that
not
we
the
should
same
yeah.
time. It's a
Yeah, I
different
know what you're
day.
talking about
It's
now.
and it's earlier. Usually they don't set out the lines and everything for the plant sale until afternoon.
I think that's probably right. I think the coordination is pretty simple to establish.
Mhm.
If you're really done by noon, it's probably not going to interfere with plant sale setup,
Okay.
but
Good to know.
a little coordination just to be sure.
So does anyone have any questions about just the project in general?
I hate to butt in, but I'm gonna echo Arrington. 2 hours is not really a whole lot, even if you have 30 people.
Mhm.
You can get them, it'll take you 20 minutes to get everybody together, 10
Mhm.
minutes to get them dispersed, and you'll have an hour and a half maybe. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. And I know you're just wanting to get trash, but you want to get the sticks and stuff that is accessible, not limbs and big heavy stuff or cut trees or anything like that. You're
Yeah.
not talking about that. But depending on how much you're planning on covering coming this way from the dam, 2 hours doesn't give you much time, even with a large group of people. Plus, people are going to say, okay, do we get this? Do we get that? You know,
What do you mean by
I
that?
applaud your effort, definitely. I'm just thinking that 2 hours is, it'll
Not
get you
enough.
started well, but I don't think it'll get you through much.
What do you mean by do we get this? Do we get that?
I'm sorry.
Um,
Y'all need to clarify what's gonna be picked up.
oh, just like man-made waste product, like candy wrappers, water bottles, stuff like that.
I don't think you'll find it.
I-
I don't know.
Better not, bear wise will be all over you.
What? Say that again.
There better not be any candy wrappers on the ground. Bear wise will get all over you.
Who?
No matter. You've got to be there to appreciate
Okay, sorry.
it.
Well, that's what they're focused on is litter, not natural litter. We're not talking about leaves and branches. We're talking, and it really is amazing. We used to do this on a yearly basis, and it was amazing the amount of trash, I think is a good word for it, that we found. It really is unbelievable what gets into inadvertently. I'm not saying people are putting things down on the ground on purpose, but inadvertently from the back of people's trucks and things like that. And I think your focus is mostly around the campus and the conference center and heading down the creek is, depending on how many people is depending on how much can actually be done. But just
Anything
teams of people going in different directions is the way I understood it.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm questioning whether, it seems to me that that's something that you all can organize yourself. You can develop the teams
Mhm.
and send them out to whatever, figure out which area, block of space this crowd is going to cover, what block of space this crowd is going to cover.
Mhm.
I think you all can organize that yourselves.
Yeah,
And I don't know how much you need us. Sounds like you got a lot of people you could call on.
yeah, I was just wondering if you guys could bring in help from like the Monterey community in general. We are going to be organizing the whole initiative. We've been planning it for a while as part of our a class we're in. So you guys wouldn't have to be in charge of that. We just need you guys to bring in the people. You know what I mean?
more about
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely.
And hopefully getting something up. I don't know how hard it is to get something on the Landcare website. Just in congruence with the plant sale that we're gonna have a cleanup day.
Well, we can certainly get it in Montreat Minute.
Yeah, that would be really
And that
helpful.
may have better coverage than the Landcare website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Would that, could we just, that help you if we advertise in the Montreat Minute?
That would be helpful.
Okay.
And I think as far as bags and gloves, I think there's an organization in Asheville that helps provide that. So I'll help you get in touch with that group.
Cool.
It's a great initiative.
Thank you.
Good
Uh,
work.
What?
Good work.
Thank you. Yeah, anyone has any other questions?
College, and we've worked through Dottie in the past, and when Martha Campbell and Bill Seaman. This is an opportunity for people that live in Montreat and citizens that want to get to know the college students. It's a together thing. It's not that they can get as many people and they can make a lot of accomplishment, and whatever timing they want to do, that's great. But I think it's the initiative of this group wanting to reach out and meet up. And I've made friends in the past, collecting garbage with that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's actually precisely what we want, is for like to build community between the literal Montreat community and the Montreat College.
And I guess based on your earlier comment, it would be useful to do if we put something in the Montreat Minute to have people provide some indication as to whether they're gonna attend or not, so that we have some idea.
Yeah, although it's not like hugely mandatory, I just need a rough estimate.
Where would be the point? Well, this can be an ongoing discussion about where you would want people to meet. Where's your central location?
The
Kent, The
dam,
Moore Center?
below what?
Moorfield.
What?
Just say
Moore,
Moorfield.
sorry, Moorfield is where we're gonna meet. And it's gonna be our central base of operations.
And I think we can get back together maybe at the end of the meeting and talk a little bit about what might actually go in a Montreat Minute
I
announcement.
think I sent you that information,
Okay,
and we might add Jesse's or Ethan's contact if people have questions, or to let them know. Maybe we
yeah,
can.
or if people are willing to say, yes, I'll be there and I'll bring
Yes.
my own gloves. I mean, that really should go to the coordinators directly.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
We won't be able to stay at the end of the meeting because we've got
that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, we have 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And the second thing from the college is I have a handout of information that one of my students pulled together about grants and grant opportunities. And going after our motion from last meeting, this is going to take a lot more time. We really should potentially set up a subcommittee that is interested in looking at these individual grants. Some are ones that I think the committee should know about, as far as the town should know about, but others of them may have very specific interest related to the kinds of things that we do in Montreat. And it's a big job. I mean, you don't just create this list and send the same information to everyone. So this is just a teaser, a starting point. And I don't know exactly where the committee wants to go from here.
Appreciate so much you're jumping into this, Dottie. You don't let anything grow under your feet. That's correct. So yes, this will be something we'll be looking at with MRA and see if we can't address some of these issues.
Yeah, because I think there might be some opportunities,
It looks like they would be.
but it's going to take time.
It's going to take what?
Time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so maybe we can see if there's a subcommittee or a group of people that really want to take this on as a part of this group. Or if the individual entities have people that are interested in making some of these applications, but yeah, they're all different. Are there more?
What? Oh. Well, Dottie, I think that I know, and I'm new, so I don't know who does what he or who's good at what in the community. But I can't imagine that that there are not other people here that are able to pick up on this and with you leading and Josh leading, help you with some of these grants. I just don't know who
I
they
think
are.
This is really a teaser to say, oh, this fits my idea, or, oh, I see, because there's some real direct stream team type things on there. And so maybe different people, would say, hey, this might be an initiative we want to look at.
Okay, great. Thank you. Josh is not here. Hal is not here, he's Zooming though. Hello, Hal, I guess. Meredith Green, not here. Patty, is anybody reporting for Patty? No. Jim, David, do you have anything on Hemlock?
The only thing I have, you have first son.
Huh?
Yeah, just moved to it, right? My loud mouth doesn't carry, I guess. Oh, it does, sounds like. Anyway, just a reminder that I've said for the last two meetings that Saturday, March 25th is the scheduled college earth science lab with the Hemlock Restoration Initiative, Tom Green and going brain dead. Abby Lay, excuse me for forgetting her name. And that's on a Saturday. It's a time, I'm not sure that's scheduled yet. Maybe what it is. I know that it's 9. There's several different locations where we're going to be. Initial meeting, though, I think is to be around the gate around 9 o'clock, and we'll work our way back. And there is an outstanding date that Tom and Abby and I are supposed to walk the property to kind of get a look see. Have not gotten a confirmation on that date. Reached out twice. And hopefully we'll find that out so that we can get a heads up prior to March 25th.
And do you get those emails directly from Tom Green? Because I got another one yesterday and thought that I should forward
Yeah.
it to you.
No, that one, that's just the generic restoration group. Yeah.
But you do get those.
I do get those,
Okay, so
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need, because every time I
No.
get one, I think, oh, I should forward this on, but. you're
No,
good.
no, and I had an extended conversation with Tom in the last month about, him and all the folks over there, including their intern. And so I've got information to share there too, but that was already been dispersed.
Thank you, David. She does. All right, Bearwise is me. As of, bye y'all, thank you for coming. As of February 24th, last week, Montreat has become recognized as a Bearwise town. And there are only 2 in the country, and we're one of them. Now, the neighborhoods that are Bearwise, Brown Blossom, but we're the 2nd town in the country to take this. Ashley Hobbs came, oh, what are you laughing at?
Moving, I was listening to Patty.
Oh.
To Patty. Sorry, Dottie.
I was just throwing up a chair.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so Ashley Hobbs came down from the North Carolina Wildlife Commission and hosted 3 training sessions over 3 days last week. And every single bear watcher attended. They were either here in person or they were Zooming, but 100% response from people to come. So each person in Montreat now should begin to be getting these emails from the bear watcher in your area, explaining the reporting process. And so we'll all be able to watch for bears and know what to do when we see one. Town Council has passed the revised ordinances that Mason developed dealing with bear feeding and trash disposal. Barry Creasman has researched and published descriptions of bear-proof trash cans for use by residents. And Tom Widmer is going to publish articles from time to time reminding people of the need to watch for bear activity and properly report. So it wasn't just my little Airwise committee. That I was only dealing with setting up the neighborhood system up to report the activity. But, town council was involved, Barrett Christopher from the sanitation department was involved, Tom was involved, Mason was very much involved. So it took a little village to get this done, but we did it. So congratulations to everybody in Montreat. We did it. We did it.
Good for you.
Okay. Tree board, if Mr. Advisor, do you have anything from the tree board? What is it?
Lots of advice.
Later. I'm on
I
a
do, I
roll.
do have several items that just want to inform the board about that I think are relevant. Today I am sending out a copy, a link to stuff from the Chestnut Foundation. I think it's a real good summary about where they're at with things. So check your emails and enjoy the reading there. And if you don't get it, contact me and I'll take care of that. Native plant sale and Arbor Day celebration. I did some initial contacting with the Chestnut Foundation and then passed it off to Beth Frith, who I think is handling that part of their coordination. The tree board wants to put an emphasis on the Chestnut Foundation participation and doing presentation that day, both at the table and the talk. Not sure where that is going, where it stands, but that goes to Beth. We are expecting to restart the Ivy League probably later in March. It would be the first time. I have to talk to the public works people and get dates set up. But we'll try to communicate that as soon as it's set up. I'm thinking about March through the summer, once a month, for volunteers to come. And speaking of volunteers, there's, I've observed that everybody who's got a member of an organization has some need to report numbers of volunteers. Tree board certainly needs to do that with the Arbor Day Foundation and such, and I think Fairwise and such may also have that. I would like to propose that we consider having a uniform volunteer reporting form that we could all use, a way that coordinate. And so it's just a suggestion. We can follow up on that later, but I think it would serve everybody's needs to have a uniform way of doing that. Attended a meeting of the Comprehensive Plan Committee, and they haven't finished, but they're moving along with their process. One thing that I picked up on intending that is that there's thinking that what they're talking about, having the tree board coordinate conversation between entities about trees, what working together in the larger community on trees. That's a function that kind of goes with Landcare, but the tree board and Landcare overlap some in that particular area. So I just kind of want to give you a heads up that seems to be working. It's not finalized, but I think it's part of what they intend to have in the plan. Okay, and another thing that I can send out to people, recently received communication from North Carolina Forest Service with links to different kinds of applications that could be, submitted for different kinds of funding. And it's stuff that applies to tree board, but it could also apply to other entities. So I'll send that information with you, and when you get it, take a look and see what's there. And if you have any ideas, and you think it's more appropriately tree board, let me know about that, or otherwise uh, the Forest Service. So those are the things where the tree board's sort of in transition. Well, one other thing, we're shorthanded, and when it's a very small board, when people are missing, then we have a trouble having a quorum. And we weren't able really to meet this week because people were out. And that's preference just to say that I'm going to be talking with town council about maybe expanding the tree board a little bit so that we are less vulnerable that way. And we'll keep you informed.
Great. Brad, thank you. Good report. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Thank you for coming down. All right, accessible trail. Grace? You have a report from the accessible trail for Patty. Okay. Nobody's here from the town. MRA, Tracy's here, Mayor Mark Todd's here. Do y'all have anything to report from the town? No? I mean, MRA. Right.
Technically, I am from the town. Tree board is a town committee, but the town has not designated me, or as far as I know, anyone to officially can vote for in this board for that. So it's an issue that needs to be clarified.
I agree, 100%. I've got, okay, let's move on. Then when we're done, I've got something I want to ask y'all. Montreat Wilderness is not here. Certified Wildlife Habitat, no report. Is there any unfinished business? Any new business? All right, our next meeting will be Wednesday, April the 5th. Am I right this time? I think I'm right. I think I'm
Just on
right.
one thing on the wilderness, so I am representing the
Good,
Cottagers Wilderness Committee.
good, Bill. I'm so sorry. Of course you are. I'm so sorry.
Can you
I
hear me
even
now?
had you on the agenda and missed you. I'm sorry, Bill.
Is that on? Okay, so I am here representing the Wilderness Committee.
I'm so
the-
sorry,
The
please.
Cottagers, that's fine, with Beth Fountain. And really, I think there's no significant update from the review that Beth provided at the last meeting. I think our primary agenda item right now is just evaluating whether the Cottagers Group is the best continued long-term owner of the Rocky Knob property. As most folks know, the Cottagers Group bought that property a little over 30 years ago to protect it from potential development. It's a beautiful spot. I was up there yesterday afternoon. It sits on the ridge line between Graybeard to the south and Pinnacle of the Blue Ridge and the Blue Ridge Parkway to the north. And I think the only update is that I have had a recent conversation with the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy, and we will be scheduling a meeting with them sometime in the next couple of months to have them come in and give us their formal thoughts on they're potentially taking over ownership of the property to maintain it in a conservation easement. They currently administer the property with us, but the cottagers hold the deed. And we've also had similar conversations with MRA, with Richard and Seth about their potential role and interest. So that's really kind of the update.
Bill, where exactly is that property? I'd like to look at it.
Yeah, so it sits literally on the ridge line, just beyond Graybeard. So if you hike to the top of Graybeard Mountain, not road, Graybeard Mountain. The closest place you can get, which is actually what I did yesterday because I had limited time, you can approach it from the north, from the Blue Ridge Parkway. From really just a tad to the east of where you would turn into the Mount Mitchell State Park area. And I can give you more details, but the loop that I did yesterday that went up, along the toll road, which connects to the Blue Ridge Parkway there. You go up the toll road and down the toll road a little bit, and then up to the top of of Waggy Knob, and it was about a 5 mile kind of round trip loop. I've got some photos that I took yesterday. I'm happy to share with you so you can at least get a visual. But if you want more details on getting there,
I would
we can
love
do
it
that as
and,
well.
an easier access than a 5 mile hike.
Yeah, well, coming at it from the
So sorry, y'all.
coming at it from Montreat is probably 8+
Uh,
round trips.
One thing I hate about moving here so late in life is that I can't hike these trails anymore. And y'all are talking about Lookout and Graybeard and Rocky Knob, and not only do I not know where they are, I can't get there. So I hate that. But thank you, Bill. Okay, that was our new unfinished business. New business. All right, I want to ask y'all something from me and my and this is kind of. I know you have heard this rumor about Graybeard Trail being put in the Pisgah National Forest. What is that? A what?
Thank you. As far as I know, that is just a rumor. I don't know anything about Graybeard Trail being put into Pisgah National Forest.
Yeah, Martha Campbell. Martha Campbell. No, it wasn't Martha. It was Mary Stannard that brought that up. She'd seen it somewhere with cabins to rent, and I thought, heck, I rent Stonemont for $10,000 a day. What in the world? We don't need that.
I have no idea where that might have come from. I mean, that trail and that property currently is in part of a conservation easement already. I mean, all of our wilderness is in a conservation easement, and there are very clear guidelines as to what can happen to that property being in an easement. And I'm pretty sure cabins and rental are not allowed. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't
Okay.
imagine where that came from.
It would seem like somebody would have to give permission to have that done. Anyway, all right.
Yeah. So
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? Second. Is everybody ready to go? Meeting adjourned. Next meeting is Wednesday the 5th. I've got it. Okay. Thank y'all.